in listen-only mode.
Good morning or good afternoon to everyone today. I hope everyone can see my screen okay. I'm thrilled to have Web Connect here. The whole team is there in the room, and I'll leave that to Doug to introduce everyone. But today they're doing a presentation on the free P21 real-time data mobility solution for smartphones and tablets. Web Connect, you've heard their name, you've seen them on the forum. They'll also be at Connect this year, so you have a chance to talk to them then. And so definitely they'll have their contact information up on the screen as we move on through the presentation. So you can always contact them now to set up time when you're at Connect to have the conversation with them. But this is a great introduction to who they are and what they do. So I hope you sit back and relax and learn a little bit more about Web Connect. But before I pass it over to them, I am going to just touch on a few items that I like to kick off all of our presentations with. And to begin, it's to thank our board of directors, our group officers, and that's Sam, Brian, Mike, Ted, and Eric. Many of you who are active on the forum or who get my relentless emails knows that, of course, Connect 2017 is coming up. Many of you don't realize that Connect 2018 was already contracted and ready to go months ago, and Connect 2019 is well in progress as well now. Our session schedule for this year is probably one of the best I've ever seen. We've got local groups beginning to form all over the country, up into Canada. I can't say enough about this board of directors that you see listed in front of you. The amount of work that they put in that so many people don't see, it truly is incredible. So I like to start off our presentation with a quick note about how much I appreciate they put in as volunteers for this group and how much they support everyone here, all of our members. So big thank you to them. Of course, if you're coming to Connect, make sure that you find one of our officers and pull them aside. We do have our WUG update on the Sunday evening, and they'll be up on stage so you can cheer them on and thank them for all that they do. And of course, Connect 2017 registration is still open for Connect 2017. We've had over 500 people already sign up for Connect. I know those numbers will continue to increase, making this already very close to being our largest Connect yet. So if you want to be a part of it, please register now on the Connect user group forum, the user group forum. You'll see the Connect logo at the top right-hand corner of the screen. If you click on that, that will take you over to our microsite. On our microsite, of course, is information about our sponsors like Web Connect that you're going to hear from today, but it is also the information on how to register for classes and register for the conference, hotel information, ground transportation information, the session grid, and session descriptions. All of that is housed on that website, so take advantage and take a look. And of course, if you have any questions that is not answered on that website, to please email me. That's what I'm here for. I like to, of course, touch on our disclaimer, and although we're not getting into this today, if you're watching any of our recorded sessions, to please remember that these presentations are being done by volunteers and to take the information in the spirit of which it's being offered to you. When we get into SQL statements, to use your play database before going live. And if you're implementing anything that you've watched from a webinar, we always recommend you touch base with the presenter or post in that forum string about the webinar questions you may have that may be unique to your working environment. It's always a great resource, and of course, anything we touch on today, I know the Web Connect team very well. They will always be there for any questions you have. These guys, they've been involved with the user group for a long time. You could probably ask them Profit 21 questions and know all those answers too. But definitely use your play database before going live and test, and retest. And my contact information is up on the screen. If you have any questions about the user group forum, about Connect, about anything to do about getting the most out of your membership, who to send to Connect, webinars, webinar suggestions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I don't always know the answers to your questions, but I can guarantee you I can find someone who does. So never hesitate to send the questions. There's no question too big or too small. I get them all. I promise you I've seen them all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass control over to Doug. And while I do this, I'm just going to remind everyone about how to ask questions today. So if you're connected using your telephone, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and I'll unmute you and you can ask your question live. You can also email your questions over to me, and everyone knows my email address. Or of course, you can post your questions here in GoToWebinar. Please don't hold your questions to the end. We will reserve some time, but we'll make sure we leave extra time if we have a lot of questions. And I will pass it over to you, Doug, if you want to take over. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Cheryl, and hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today. My name is Doug Bliss, and with me today are Ewell Gatown and Andy Garrett. Hello. So basically, I wanted to go through a few introductory slides here, and then I will hand it off to Ewell. And sorry, I'm having a little, here we go, I got ahead of myself. So yeah, in a moment, Cheryl will hand it off to Ewell for the community version of Web Connect demo. That's the free version of Web Connect. But before that, those of you who are new to Web Connect, we've been working in P21 related development since 2006. And the various Web Connect versions evolved out of those early efforts. All Web Connect versions are built from the ground up with P21 in mind, and they are all mobile optimized to run on any device that has a browser. So that's smartphones, Macs, tablets, laptops, PCs, anything with a browser. All versions run real-time in your environment against your live P21 data and have features in the broad areas of CRM, business intelligence, remote ordering, VMI, and customer portals. The three versions of Web Connect are, as you see here, the free community version, which is what you'll see today. We have something called Community Plus and a full version of Web Connect. Each of those versions provides a feature set designed to match a P21 shop's requirements at any given time. For some organizations, the free community version may be all they'll ever need. For others, as their business needs change and evolve, they have the options to either move to Community Plus or to the full version of Web Connect. All Web Connect versions do install on a Windows server, again, in your environment, so users, of course, on your internal network can use it while in the office, and your remote or mobile users can get access from the outside using whatever security schema you already have in place. So that's a VPN, firewall, any security appliance that you may use. If you're looking for a starting point to getting your users access to their P21 data on those mobile devices, this free community version is a great option that a lot of shops have adopted since the launch back in November of 2015. A lot of those shops use it as their primary mobility tool, and it also serves as a good way to kind of test the mobile waters and get something out quickly to users to get some feedback on what the actual requirements that they need may turn out to be. So it's kind of a great tool to evaluate those needs as well. After the webinar, if you're ready to try community in your environment, just visit p21connect.com/community and register to receive the install bits. If you would prefer to try our community demo site before you install it, you can email us at community@p21connect.com to receive a login account. Quickly on the Community Plus version, this is designed for P21 shops that find the free community version useful but also need a little bit more functionality. We offer a number of extensions for Community Plus, such as customer portals, P21 order imports, and others that are available on a monthly subscription basis. The full version of Web Connect offers a more comprehensive read-write feature set, specifically in areas like CRM, business intelligence, remote ordering and VMI, customer portals, and a customizable mapping, charting, and data grid tool called Data Explorer. If you would like to attend our next live walkthrough of the full version of Web Connect, visit p21connect.com/WC webinar. You can find a link directly on our home page, and that will let you register for our August 29th demo of the full version, which will just be in 2 or 3 weeks. For the full version, there's a free trial. So P21 shops that would like to try the full version of Web Connect in their environment using their actual P21 data That's a great way to evaluate all the features of Web Connect, the full version, at your leisure with your actual meaningful data in view. You can also contact us to schedule a guided walkthrough of the full version or request a login account for our demo site. To watch videos for both the free community version and the full version of Web Connect, you can visit our YouTube channel. That's youtube.p21connect.com. You can also find information on our blog at p21connect.com/blog. And finally, if you're attending the user group conference in Orlando this year, we'd love to have you stop by our booth. This year we are in booth number 303. And if you hadn't had the opportunity in the past to attend a Connect conference, we certainly highly recommend it. Cheryl and the board all do a great job, and it's always fun and very informative. So now on to the community version demo. Ewell, it's all yours.
Thanks, Doug.
And let's see, there you go.
Thanks, Doug, for that great presentation. My name is Ewell Gataun. I am the lead developer on Community. I've had the opportunity to work on this product for the past couple of years. And I will also be the person that you will send any support calls or have any questions or need help installing. So I'll be your kind of guide through that. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of Community and its feature sets and some of the newer features that we've added since the last time we deployed Community. Again, as Doug communicated, Community is a mobile-capable product that you interact through your web browser. Throughout this demo, I'm going to switch in and out between kind of the full browser view and kind of this emulator that you see here, so that you can get a better view of what it might look like on your phone, and so that you can get a kind of a better concept of how this might re-render when you're playing with it on your phone. So Community has logins that are set up for each individual user. I'm going to log in as an admin user so that we can kind of see the full spectrum of functionality inside of Community. You will see several different things when we log in. This is kind of the home page of a admin user. Several different functionalities of searching and adding new things, open tasks and home screens and upward navigation. Again, this is how it might re-render inside of a kind of mobile app. It browses and works really well so that it's finger capable and you can touch it and move around with it. But I'm going to keep primarily this entire demo inside of the full version so that you guys can see it better. I'm going to jump into some of the admin abilities, so what creating a user looks like. I have two different types of roles within Community. I have an admin role and a sales rep role. An admin role basically has the ability to change some system level settings, which we will get into in a bit. But I can go ahead and create roles and users. So for example, this is a sales rep, assign him a username and password, define that he is a sales rep, connect this account to his or her P21 user ID. This is important as the user is creating contacts and tasks throughout the system, that when we are adding it to the P21 database, it's setting the right information. Assign any sales rep IDs associated with this account. I can do one or many. So if I have a sales manager, for example, I can assign all the different sales reps that are connected. And then I can also set different level permissions. So we might not want them to be able to look at pricing, or we might want to allow them to add and edit contacts, add and edit order requests, etc. throughout the system. So you have kind of complete control over the user and what they're able to do throughout the system. So when we go to our home screen, I'm logged in as an admin. I have several different options. I can do inventory search. I can look through orders from P21. We have this other concept of order requests inside of Community, which I will drill into. We have customers and ship tos and contacts that I can search. I can also go through our new tab and create sales calls, create tasks, create contacts, and order requests. I'm going to start from our customer search. I'm going to drill into our customer listing. If I was logged in as a sales rep, this would give me a customer listing filtered by my sales rep ID. So I would only see the customers that are relevant to my account. In here, I can enter a customer name and search by it. So the concept being, you know, I'm planning a sales call for Action Industries. I search for Action Industries. I get several different options. I can drill in. I have a few different icons that are all mobile capable. So if I were on my phone and I click this icon, it would open up the dial pad so that I can actually call the main customer line. Clicking on this would navigate me to Google Maps so that I can actually open and navigate to the location that I'm going into. I can drill into the contacts, or I can drill into the different ship-tos that are associated with this customer. All quick, nice, capable features that allow us to get the information that we need as a sales rep interacting kind of with my P21 data. The important thing to always remember with all of this data, it's live and it's pulling directly from P21. So all the information is going to be exactly as if I was sitting in front of my computer inside of the office. So from here, I can drill into the contacts. I can see the different contacts that are set up for this account. I set up a community demo contact earlier, so I can drill in. I can look at the different phone numbers associated with it, websites, addresses. If I have permission, I can edit this contact. I can drill in and update all of these things for this contact. This will write live back to the P21 database following all of the P21 rules and conventions. Again, the permission has to be set to allow me to do that. So if as you're testing, you might want your users to be able to search and do all those different things, but you might not want them to be able to edit. You can turn on and off those that functionality. From there, I've drilled into the contacts. I might go backwards, and I want to go into the customer detail. So I can drill into this customer. Inside of the customer detail, I get several different tabs that give me different information about this customer. Again, I can navigate, call, I can drill into the contacts, I can look at the different ship-tos that exist, or view any customer notes or invoices inside of this for this customer. So if I were to drill into notes, I can see, okay, you know, unlimited number of notes can be added. As you know, all of our data is test data, so it's not exactly real. Customer often take terms after the discount date has expired. Customers do that sometimes. I can drill into invoices, and the invoices will give me kind of a listing of the different invoices that have kind of recently been opened. I can drill into those different invoices, get kind of header level information about the invoices, order numbers, etc. And I can also get invoice line information about that invoice so that I can see kind of what's on it. So the idea being, you know, I'm at customer Action Industries. They're asking me about invoice XYZ, or they're asking me about order XYZ. I can kind of get to that information. I have a stats tab. The stats tab gives me a high-level overview of the health of the customer. So where their credit status is, how much of their credit limit that they're using, what their orders are so far, and what they're projected to be. And this kind of simple math, you know, how many days left in the year. But it can give us a pretty decent health check of, is the customer pacing correctly? Do I need to be talking about them about XYZ items? I can also drill into open orders to see additional information. So they have 122 open orders, the total amount of that. And I can also drill into item summary, and I will drill into those in a second. Before we do that, I'm going to drill into this credit status, credit limit used. From there, I get a high-level aging chart, so I can see how many dollars are in that 0 to 30 window, 31 to 60, etc. And this gives me a better idea of, okay, do I need to talk about, you know, with the contact that I have there about their payables and how they're doing on that, because invoice aging can be kind of an important thing to consistently discuss with the customer. I can drill into the details of their orders to get a better idea of how that they're moving throughout the system, or how they're moving throughout the year, to get an idea of previous year to current year and where they're lagging behind, and I get a decent, nice chart. Again, all mobile capable, so that when I look at this, for example, on my iPhone, it will re-render and show me that information so that I can see it right there on my phone. So I could be doing this in the parking lot right before I walk in, get a better idea of, okay, how are they doing and what do I need to be talking to them about? The other tab I can drill into is this open orders tab. So when I walk in, the customer is pounding their fist about, order number 1014904. I can drill into that order, see where it's at. I know it's an approved status. I can look at the different items that exist inside of that item. I can see what ship to it's assigned to, so I can make sure that it's going to the right one. And I can also look at order notes that exist on this. So if back office has said, hey, blah 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 is back ordered, or etc., I can convey that information to the customer. So again, just really useful information for a sales rep on the go, that they can pull up on their phone and give the answer to the customer that they need right there. And what's great about it is it's all pulling live, and it's all information that is going to be relevant and correct, and I don't necessarily have to call back office to get that information. I also have a drill-in called Item Summary. Item Summary is kind of a high-level overview of the things that this customer purchases. So I can see what they've done over the past year and the items that they buy most. This can be kind of important information to see if the customer is buying everything that they need to be buying. So that is kind of the details of a customer and quick information that, again, we might need as a sales rep as we are driving around and can drill into. Great. So from here, I'm going to view a couple of our other search boxes that we have. I'm going to drill into Ship To search. Our Ship To search is a pretty cool functionality. It allows us to the concept that we had when we were building this was, I'm out in a specific area. The person I was meeting with canceled on me. I need to know who's around me so that I can make sure that it's not a wasted trip. So what this functionality allows us to do is enter a zip code and provide kind of a mile radius, so between 10 to 30, and find the customers that are within that area. Why this functionality is useful is that it quickly allows us to identify the customers that we can reach that might be worthwhile reaching. And you can set sort by, so the last sales date, so that you can get a better understanding, okay, who's near me that hasn't ordered from us in a long time that we can definitely talk to. So we can enter a zip code, select a mile radius, and a sort. We can search that information, and what that will give us is the different customers that exist in there. I can drill into the contacts or call the Ship To directly and say, hey, I'm in the area, can I come by and talk to you about XYZ? Or we can click this show it on a map, and what the show it on a map will do is take all of that Ship To information and actually place it on a map so we can get a visual view of that information. Each of the different icons will have us last sales date, the city that they're in, and I can view the contacts or click this map link. What that allows us to do is navigate directly again on our phone to the location and talk to the customer about what they are or are not buying and view that information. So it's a great tool for a sales rep kind of on the go who might need to talk to someone or have free time to be able to engage that way. We have our open order search tool too. So in here we can start typing and filtering by a customer. And what that will let us do is view any open orders by a specific customer. Or if we knew the P21 order or the P21 customer PO, we can enter that information and search by it. Again, this is live pulling from P21, so we can see that data and be able to quickly act on that information. We have we have one other tab up here, this open task tab. What that does is pulls live P21 tasks and tell us incomplete tasks that are going to be coming due soon. So I can see that I have 14 different tasks in my task list. I will get a view of all the open tasks and what their due dates are, and when what I have to be able to do. I can also filter this by sales calls, so that I can see, find out pricing, meeting with Sam to discuss a big customer order, etc., so that I can work on those tasks. I can drill into this task and edit it, set the contact I met with, when I completed it, and write it directly back to P21. Again, quick operation for a sales rep. You know, I need to get pricing. I can, I need to meet with X, Y, and Z. I can drill in, do all of that information. I have my task list, but I can also go ahead and create new tasks relatively quickly. So my new button, if I have permission, will give me all of the different things that I'm able to do. So I can do a new sales call, a new task, a new contact, or a new order request. So if I wanted to create a new task, I can click this new task, enter a subject, so for example, demo community. I can select the activity ID, activity type, so I might say lunch meeting. I can say who it's assigned to. I'm going to assign it to myself, when it's due by, and then I can say demo community. And then I can go ahead and add this task. This writes live right back to P21, following all the rules of P21. And I can scroll down here. I can see demo activity. It's incomplete. The due date. I knew all that information. I can drill in to that edit task that I just created. I can go ahead and say, yep, I completed that today. Change the comments, how it went, all of that. I can update the task, and now I've completed that task, and it's gone through the system. I also have the ability to do new sales calls. Sales calls, kind of in this system, are tasks that have activity types defined as sales calls. And as you guys saw earlier, inside of my system settings, I have a sales call settings tab where I can select which activity types are sales calls activity types. So lunch, meeting, golf outing, follow-up, etc. So new sales calls you can create, and you have those different activity types in your activity type drop-down list. You can select which contact you were talking to. So I know I have a community demo account. Okay, so Action Industries, that's the contact we were talking about. The subject of this sales call was demo community. We're going to say it was a lunch meeting. Again, it was assigned to me, and it's due by X date. I can say, I can enter a comment, and then I can go ahead and add this sales call into the system. Again, it's a quick way when you're on your phone interacting with the customer to log all the things that you've done with that customer, or create new tasks about if the customer asks about pricing, about XYZ, or if they ask about different offerings or discounts. You can set tasks for back office or whoever you need to be able to get that task done. All again, writing live to P21 and pulling that information live from P21. The second to last thing we have within our new tab is creating a new contact. You know, as a sales rep, as I'm interacting, as I meet new people, I may want to add a new contact that exists at a specific customer. So first I would find the customer that I'm dealing with. So I'm going to work with my Action Industries supply. And then I'm going to select the ship to that this contact is associated. Community is what I'm going to give him as the first name, Ewell, and then last name, Gitahun. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this contact. Close it. And now that contact has been written back to P21. I can go ahead and search for that contact and find him. Here's that new contact that I've created. I can drill into him and update that information if I have additional information that I might want to set. So, and create, a use or create a phone number, etc. Update that contact, and that information will write live back to P21 and is there so that I can interact with it throughout the time I'm using Community. Again, that is a permission-based, so if you want certain sales reps to be able to do it and other sales reps not, you can disable or enable that, that functionality. The final thing I'm going to jump into is this new order request concept. So an order request is a tool that we built to allow sales reps to craft an order request that gets sent to back office. It allows you to create an order that doesn't necessarily get written to P21, but can be submitted to back office in a nicely formatted email that allows them to input that information. This gives sales reps on the go the ability to craft an order, save it, and then send it off and have it be written to P21 by back office. The order title is kind of something that you can use as to title this order. It could be a customer PO. It can be weekly order action that you can kind of give it any name. It's something that you can categorize or use later on. You can search for the customer that you're going to be doing this on, so Action Industries, and the ship to. So Action Industries Supply is the one I've been working with. If you have any contracts in P21, this will pull those contracts for the customer, and you can select that contract. It gives you the ability to get pricing based on that contract. But I'm going to create this weekly order action for Action Industries. So now I've created this order. From here, I have the ability to add items in two ways. I can bulk add items, or I can just add items directly. So with the items, I can just start typing item IDs, descriptions, etc., and it will allow me to select that item. So let's say they're buying this linear slicing box black. I get live pricing based off of the customer and the ship to ID. I can enter a quantity. So let's say they're buying 12s. If I have a different unit of measure, I can select that. I get extended pricing. So, the unit price times the quantity. I can enter notes. Customer is new to buying this. I can go ahead and add this item. And now I have kind of a building order. I can see that they have 12 units ordered at this price. So I can do that, add items one at a time like that. I can also bulk add items. This is, again, that item information screen that we saw on the customer stats screen, but kind of expanded out so that I can see what they buy and buy frequently. So I can see that they buy rock gray. I think they're going to need 12 of that. So I can go ahead and select 12 and add that to my item history. I can see that they were looking for threaded hose mail and go ahead and add 12 of that. And now I have kind of an order that I've built out. I can go ahead and save it. I can work with this at another future point. I don't necessarily have to submit it right now. But if I wanted to, I can go ahead and submit it. And so what submit it does is it will take this order that I've created and format it and send it into back office based on a back office email that has been set. So if I go into, as an admin, I can go into my system settings and set up who the back office email is. And so whenever somebody submits an order request, that nicely formatted back office email will go to who this back office email is set as. And so I can take, sorry guys, I thought I would have an order. It will take that order list and all the order line item notes and send it to Sorry guys, I thought I would have this up and ready to go, and it didn't. Okay, so this is an example of what a formatted back office order request would look like. It has who the ship to ID is, if there was any contract set, the item ID, item description, if there were any line item notes, the unit price, the quantity, etc. And what that does is it sends a nicely formatted email to the back office so that they can know customer X, Y, and Z wanted to be able to have an order created for these different items with these different quantities, and they want that order created. And so it gives the sales rep the ability to create orders on the fly, send it to back office, and not necessarily have to send an email with, oh, they want 12 of these and this, and not have to go through that entire process. What's great about this is these order requests are saved, so you can drill into the different order requests that you've created. And what's nice about that is if you have a weekly one, you can just keep resubmitting that same order. You can select the different customers that might exist so that you can filter your order request. And as an admin user, you can view all the different orders that have been submitted by the different users that exist in the system. And I can filter based on submitted and unsubmitted, and I can interact that way. So that was a kind of quick fly-through, breezing functionality overview of the order requests and the community and search functionality and create functionality. I'll pause here for any questions.
Perfect timing, actually. I was going to ask you if we could take a few questions. So one of the questions we have is, can you use this if you are hosted by Epicor?
The answer is yes. We have a couple of already community users that are hosted that are using it that way, and we've had them even they're a hosted customer that doesn't necessarily have a server, so they just happen to have a laptop, and we were able to install it on a laptop inside of their VPN and be able to connect to their P21 data and update and do all of those things. So yes, community works with hosted.
Okay, another question. We have more than one sales rep attached to a customer. Will both of the sales reps get to see the customer?
Yeah. So when you're creating your sales rep users, you can assign the same sales rep ID to multiple users, and you can assign multiple sales rep IDs to one user. So yeah, they will both see it.
Okay. Another one. We have a wide range of products that a customer can purchase from us. Is there any way to give totals by product group IDs? So how customizable is a screen?
Are you talking about on the order form? I'm assuming they're talking about like on when someone's placing an order, and that's something we could definitely talk about, being able to format the way community pushes that order email out, and even some of the other stuff in there. That's one of the advantages of community, is that we will do extensions with it, and we can do some customizations for people like that relatively easily.
Yeah, so they're just being more clear in saying sales history tab on a customer is what they're referring to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we can kind of look at. So with the community product, we do try to gather ideas, because it is a community product. Gather ideas, and kind of if we get a grouping of people to say that's kind of what the next additional item is good for community, that's what we add. A lot of these kind of new functionalities came from that. So yeah, definitely that can be something we we look into, please reach out to me and we can kind of talk about the specs and what that might look like. So,
by the way, the product group view you're talking about is available in the full version of Web Connect as well. So when you go to a customer detail there's all kinds of views like that where it breaks things down by product group and shows improving and declinings at the product group level. They can be drilled down to the item level from there.
Great. Can you see vendor information, purchase order numbers tied to open sales orders, supplier contact info?
No, but that is not currently, I should say. So, but that is a pretty neat idea. And so, unfortunately, community is kind of always extending out, and it might be something that we look forward to in the future. So, good idea though.
Another one is, do you have an offline version for order entry?
Offline version for order entry on community?
I'm going to assume so.
Okay. Not currently, no.
And the last question we have for right now, because I know you want to keep moving forward too, is there a way to import the order request directly into P21, like scheduled import manager, or does it have to be manually entered?
With community in the order request, it would have to be manually entered, but the Community Plus version does offer that extension. And so if whoever asked the question would like to contact us, either call our office or email community@p21connect.com or info@p21connect.com. We could describe how that works and see if that's something that would work for them.
And of course, that does exist in the full version of Web Connect.
Okay, so that's all the questions we have, and I know you have so much more to cover, so please go ahead.
So, we've kind of ran through quite a bit with community. Again, it's the mobile capable portion of the product is really useful for our users to be able to interact with this tool. One of the other things we have is the ability to look up different items. So, for example, I can search by item ID, item description, short code, etc. I can filter it based on stockable, non-stockable. So if let's say, search box in kind of my information, I can see items that came back. I can see the different quantities on hand, the unit sizes, information about that. From there, I can drill into an item. And when I drill into an item, I can see the different quantity is available at each of the location IDs. So, XYZ customer calls me and says, hey, I need to know about if you have any, linear splicing box in black available. So I can quickly look up that item and drill in and see where I have quantity available, and if I have it in stock. I can see if I didn't have anything in stock, I can see if there are any substitutes for this item. So in P21, you can set up substitutes, and this page will bring back that information. Again, this inventory data is reading live from P21, so you can see the quantity available, and this is a live number from there. I can also get price. So I'm on the specific item. I'm going to go with my trusty Action Industries. I can see the pricing for this item for Action Industries. I can look at the extended price. So as I change, the extended price number will change. And I have all of that inventory information also. So it's a great tool when you're a sales rep kind of on the go. When a customer calls and says, hey, do you have any of this available? I can look that information up live from P21 on my phone and be able to interact with that information. So a nice little way to do that from there.
Well, I know we're getting a little close on time. If you have time, could you spend a little bit on setup, talk about that, and then we can hand it back to Cheryl for final questions.
Yeah. So community runs in IIS on pretty much can run on any laptop, server, etc. It just needs to be some kind of computer that can connect to the P21 database. We have clear documentation on how to set it up within your IIS server and create a new site and do all of that, how to enter your database connection information. You will have an assigned license key, and you can select the company ID that this instance of community is working on. So if you're a multi-company environment, you can set up multiple sites, each for the different company IDs. So this is it's a fairly simple process. It takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to get up and going. If you have any questions or need someone to help you actually even do it, you can definitely contact us, and I will jump on a screen share and take control of your laptop or computer and do it for you too. So it's a simple process. Shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to do. Again, our system settings, you can also define your email address and your SMTP settings so that whenever your order requests go through, how they're going to go through can be set up. Defining your back office emails and any additional carbon copies. And then your sales call settings, again, we've kind of gone through that. But community is fairly simple to set up. It's all kind of IIS like Doug showed inside of his initial presentation. And setting up community shouldn't take more than 20 to 30 minutes to do.
Well, great. Thanks, Ewell. I know we're about out of time, so I just wanted to, before I pass back to Cheryl, just thank everyone for attending today. You know, if you have any follow-up questions, please do get in touch. If you go to p21connect.com, all of our contact information is there. So any questions relating to anything we've covered or didn't cover today, don't hesitate to reach out. We will be in Orlando as of the Saturday preceding the conference. So we'll be lurking around for Saturday and Sunday, setting up and just hanging out. So track us down, and we'd be happy to talk to you. Cheryl?
Well, thank you so much for being here today, and of course coming to Connect for I don't even know how many years now. If you didn't get a chance to write down their contact information, of course you're more than welcome to send me a quick email and I'll make the introduction. Even once we're at Connect, I think these guys we're texting the whole time. We're always in conversation, so I can definitely make sure I can find them for you, and you can have that conversation even before the program starts on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I know we're going to be busy. The team here, I know they want to come to SeaWorld. They're going to come over to our networking event that night and have fun with the dolphins. I promise not to make any of them ride the dolphins, but they'll be coming to the after hours networking events as well. So it's a great time to talk to them about everything they offer, really the scope of the product and how much it's growing and changing. I mean, it just sounds like even in the past year, you're always adding something new. So thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. Do keep sending your suggestions for webinar topics along to me. We are working on our October-November schedule, so definitely send that to me. That's how we form the basis of our webinar topics. If you haven't signed up for Connect, please do so. We are running tight on rooms at the Renaissance, so if you want to be a part of our block and get that discount, definitely get your hotel soon. We'll probably run out of rooms by even the end of this week. So thank you, gentlemen. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in like less than 6 weeks. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.